I went through the whole thing. I'm one of the chosen ones when Drew was just learning to cut his teeth.
Right.
When half of the K-Rock staff was in recovery with me. You go to a meeting in Pasadena, you'd bump into him.
I would hope not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not outing anybody. And now it's, am I wrong? It's trendy to be outed now, right? It's cool to be AA. We've actually seen it to the point where anonymous is one thing. I get that. And yeah, we're kind of being anonymous here. You could probably research both of us and probably find out our real lives. Neither of us really cares.
Right.
We don't.
Identify as a newcomer.
In fact, we give crap to people who drink around us when we're out in social and business settings.
I don't so much. I mean, if they have a problem, I do. I mean, but to be honest with you, most people that drink heavy don't trust me.
No, I find them fascinating. I enjoy getting them drunk.
Yeah, me too.
It's my favorite part.
I have two, because I can't have one.
I'm pretty convinced that's why Randy likes hanging out with us, because he's safe. We'll let go.
He won't do that with me anymore, because he found out the hard way he can't keep up with the guy.
I look forward to going to that show. So you took a
yeah, no, that's not good. You don't sleep. I forgot about that.
Well, not me though, but he was feeling it in the morning.
Yeah, that's
awesome. You're
understandable.
Yeah.
All right, so.
I'm the designated
driver. I
designated.
was at Los Encinas, and I think I waited a whole 2 weeks
before
I met her.
I may or may not have fun at.
And obsessed about her. And then her obsessed about me and followed me to my sober living and the whole nine. I'm not being a hypocrite on the subject. I just don't know why we don't address it right out of the gate instead of don't do it. If you tell me don't do something, I'm probably going to do it.
A mile,
right,
a half mile later.
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. That's how I was. I mean, I knew my therapist was scared of me.
My car couldn't understand why no sobriety test.
A lot of other people were too, but
just give us back our
because I'm white, I'm middle-aged, and I'm not drunk.
She wasn't an addict.
Well, yeah, but he couldn't.
Or an alcoholic. She had
wanted nothing
PTSD. So
I think he was just glad that I stopped.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't run him over.
I tend to fall into the category of being white, middle-aged, and not drunk gets you out of everything.
I'm laughing at the situation, not at the individual. For anybody listening, thinking I'm being a jerk. That's hysterical.
I agree.
You couldn't write that as a comedy.
Out in front of me.
I got some of my money back.
Imagine my surprise when I found him under the wheel
Holy
of my car.
crap!
Yeah, I didn't get away.
And everybody's listening, going, "Oh, that's probably poor
you're 19,
thing."
You're not
you have no
middle-aged.
idea that if I was watching a movie with Ian right now and that happened on the screen, we'd go, "Bullshit."
All that matters.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Sorry.
And of course, she's got to have the random PTSD breakouts,
Step
right?
3.
Only
Step
on
3.
my family.
Made a decision.
Made a decision. How do you make a decision?
That's it. You just make a decision.
You don't because my family didn't come. I mean, I don't have that much family left, and the family that I did have that was in the area, my uncle had a head trauma, and he was,
Oh my God.
So.
Okay, so how does your
what was the sitcom one? Oh, we're gonna date ourselves. This is like Soap.
You make a decision.
This is like the sitcom Soap.
Okay,
it's just that random and that crazy.
Oh,
that's brilliant. Oh, that's so great. All right, so what is the advice these days? I'm out of the sponsorship game. I know you have a few active sponsees, and I suppose that these shows should start to tail into the direction of having some hopeful message, even for step 0. So my advice is you're going to do it. Just try not to go completely nuclear and take yourself out with the whole situation. Did I say nuclear? Nuclear. No, I said it right the first time.
The chances
nuclear.
Are that he has become convinced
you're gonna melt.
More problems
it's going to happen.
I like to explain
some
it to
of these
sponsors.
refuse to be solved
girl,
by all the sheer
new,
personal
she's
determination and courage he can muster.
Change. Still working 1, 2, and 3.
Have you had a sponsee
you're not
do
a bad
step
influence
3
on
and
her,
suddenly have an awakening and realize that his problems are not tied to strictly drinking
4, 5, 6, 7,
and or using?
Start happening. There's a lot of change there.
You discover that,
and all of a sudden, her
you would
wants
think,
and
right?
needs are not.
I was kind of amazed with that particular paragraph in the 12 and 12.
And she's going to grow, and you've already done
Perhaps
your 4
people
step.
back
So
when they wrote this, what is this, the 40s?
So
40s or 50s?
That's what's going to happen. Just make sure you know
50s,
it beforehand.
Right? Maybe they were slower
and that's
mentally.
all. And
I mean, their life expectancy was only 50 or 60 at that point, wasn't it?
Guys with time get really twisted over new women.
True.
For that
They
exact
certainly
same reason.
didn't
I think
have
that
the same
part, that
problems.
suggestion on the 13th step, I don't think it's for the newcomer. I think it's for the person with time.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't want to sound like a complete tool bag jerk on this topic, but I've had sex with newcomers,
but the writing of this
and
book,
I really haven't cared when they've relapsed. Because I was honest at the beginning,
we had tried to bombard
and generally told them, you're probably going to obsess and relapse.
With God's intention for us. Okay, well, you said it's a higher power that I understand, but that sure as hell sounds
when I was still on house
very
arrest
culty,
and
godlike.
still fairly new. And when I say fairly new, in my first 2 years,
I don't even think
every couple of weeks, a girl from my home group would show up.
They were all Protestants.
Like, if I don't get laid, I'm going to go.
All these were middle-aged white guys. They're all Protestants.
I take one for the team, but what I didn't realize at that point in my recovery is that they're going to go use anyway.
Yes, they are.
All right, on this particularly short episode.
And that is nothing personal about me. I can't keep someone sober
this will forever
and
be the
clean
topic
with
as long
certain
as we
parts
have
of my
God
body.
in the step.
That is never going to happen.
Once we have come into agreement
And
with these
I don't think I could
ideas,
make
it is
somebody
really
relapse with
easy
those
to
same
begin
certain
the
parts of
practice
my
of step 3 in all times.
Funny,
of
I see it as a
emotional
superpower.
disturbance
I
or
am able to make them
indecision.
relapse.
We can pause,
and I find glee in it.
and then in the
Yeah,
stillness,
I mean,
simply
in
say, God,
2001,
grant me the serenity to accept the things I
did
cannot
think
change,
that because,
the
I mean,
courage
there was
to
a
change
stretch
the things
where-
I can,
And
and the
these were all
wisdom to know the
ex-girlfriends that were in and out of
difference.
recovery. I mean, a couple of
Thy
overdoses,
will, not
couple
mine, be done.
suicides, couple of, one was
Is that how that goes? I thought it was
she got herself killed. And
Well,
so
I
there
thought
was
it
like
would be too.
one summer where
So
just
we say that we say that
girls
prayer
I
at the end of
dated
every meeting, right? The step 3 prayer.
had died. And
Do you think anybody
at
actually
that
knows
point,
what the hell they're
you
saying?
know, I had 7 years sober.
And how many
and
years does it
I
take
didn't-
before you actually
I
know
stopped dating
what
in
the
and
step
around the
3
program.
prayer is, the Serenity
But
prayer?
you know, now that has changed because, and to me, it's not
the Serenity prayer.
You know, I'm still one of those guys. I'm trying to get the emotional relationship that I find that intimacy, with females in the room emotionally, and the physical, intimate relationship. I'm still trying to get that with the same person. And you know, sometimes I can, and sometimes I can't.
What's you and what's something else.
And so I really don't date people.
So how do I do a
like
step
I say,
3?
I usually date people
I
right
believe
before
it.
they get sober.
Like my first
I'm that.
you know, still having a
as they're crashing the plane, I'm that last mountain that they might crash into before they hit the water.
I had all these problems.
I mean, and that's what it is, and that's okay because I'm looking for different things than the spiritual experience.
And
okay.
To me, the spiritual experience takes hard work. I still look, you know, if somebody confronts me, it's going to be a violent, a violent solution, not a spiritual solution. I know that. I mean, you know, it's just part of being an alpha.
Whenever you hear like
but,
a big truck back up, you hear that.
You know, for me, I have to remember to seek the spiritual solution. You know, I mean, the violent, sexual, and financial solutions are easy. But you know, for me, that's you know, just being willing to seek a spiritual solution is tough.
Okay, and what's the spiritual solution?
Well, the spiritual solution is you know, look for gratitude.
Gratitude.
Yeah. I think.
All right, safely, for those listening, you can tell gratitude is not a big one in my vocabulary.
Right. But I mean, and neither is it mine, but sometimes I got to look for it. I mean,
certain accountants,
you know, I complain about, you know, oh, my car's not running.
Band manager,
you know, hey, dickhead, you got 5 cars, drive another one.
It was easy,
you know, and it was funny because at my first meeting was a guy complaining
if I couldn't handle it myself,
his mechanic couldn't get his wife's Rolls Royce running right. So
to me, that's the third step.
And all I could picture was me pulling up to his house with a U-Haul,
and if it's not okay,
really giving him something to cry about. But yeah, I was new. You know,
which brings me to my final.
Automatically think. Like
I don't know if we've actually gotten any closure for anybody who has to do a step 3 here at all, and we may have just mucked up the waters even further. And since
you know,
I contributed an hour and a half of Boy, this
you know,
God
again,
thing is way out
seeking
of
a
whack in the
spiritual
program.
solution. You know, if I'm in
not going to do
self-pity,
any of that today.
I'll be the first guy to go to
in
a
my
meeting at the homeless
increasingly
shelter,
in my attempt to find 10
halfway house
tragically
or
hip
something.
and attractive people
And then I
who
realized
get me.
I don't have it that bad.
I've given up.
If you guys are
I
new,
don't think they exist.
you know,
I think they're all programmed
sometimes
people,
all you can
and
do is just
they're
not
blind
use
as a
for
bat,
that
and they're
day.
going to relapse.
And
And
you know,
you're
that's
here to
how
be
it
the
is
positive.
for
They're not going to
me
relapse.
2 decades
Which
later.
brings us to the
Sometimes the
biggest
only thing that
stumbling
resembles
block
anything in the
in the
big
annals
book or
of
the 12 and
12-step
12
history.
is that I don't
Why
pick
is
up.
it people only do the
And,
3 steps,
you know, if you're new
and
if
then
you
relapse?
don't pick up, and if you,
I don't know,
you know,
because,
go
What
to a meeting
happened?
tomorrow,
Why can't
and you
anybody get to
don't,
step 4?
if you don't use
I
between
never
meetings,
have met
you know,
anybody
you're going to get some
that
time.
from doing the
And,
steps. But I know a lot
you know,
of
and especially
guys
with me, I was on
that
house
did it.
arrest when I was new. So I was going to 5 meetings a day.
That's,
I
you
still
know,
had
for me,
denial
I did my
that
full
I was
stuff.
actually
It
an
was,
addict. I
you
thought I
know,
was a
I
hard
didn't like
partier
doing it.
with
It
mental
was,
problems and bad luck with the
it
cops.
was painful.
That was it.
You know,
And it
some
took
people don't
10,
wanna
11 months of
go
continuous
through the
sobriety to
you know,
realize
some
that, you
those
know what, my
skeletons
life
in the
has
closet are
gotten
way
really
too big
good.
to-
And the things that I thought I needed, like the toxic
You know, I get it.
relationship,
I
or the, you know,
very good
the criminal
person that helped get me
organization,
sober.
or the
You know, she
shitty
couldn't do it.
business, or
But,
you know, all that stuff,
sometimes
it just
you
became
know,
less
I think the
important.
term is we're only as
And I
sick
didn't
as our
need it
secrets.
anymore. But
A lot of
sometimes
times
I'll be the
there
first one to admit,
and,
I'll sign
you know,
up for
once
that
you take those
toxic
secrets and put
relationship
them
because
down on
she's
paper,
hot.
takes the power
Yeah.
out of
And it's fun.
for me.
It
Anyway.
is.
I mean,
And that
believe me,
ultimately
trust
brings
another
me
human
to
being
my
with
postscript
my
on all
deepest,
this, which
darkest
is,
secrets. That was
are we really just obsessed with
that
drama?
was not in my makeup. You know, I was actually going to
You know what? I ran into a drama queen I
So
hadn't
thus
seen in
there
12
lies
years.
my question.
Yeah.
And,
Shouldn't I have had
you
a
know, since then
massive
she's had
awakening
2
from
more
step
children.
3 where
She's got
all
married and
problems
divorced.
feel as a feather on my shoulder in some
Was she employed as a
enlightened
drama
way?
queen?
Therefore, I
Is there
am
good
able
work
to
out there?
expose to God and another human being
Yeah, she's
the
looking to
exact
get hired
picture of
because
my horseshit life. Which really, look,
another
you
buddy of
guys
mine that was
aren't.
just looking for someone to make
Here's
phone
what I
calls
love
on
about new people,
expireds
and I say this with love.
Oh, no,
to
that's
all
a drama
of you
queen. She's perfect.
pent-up
Okay.
regressed
Yeah, but no, she's afraid of the phone.
people who listen to this,
She's afraid
whoever
of the phone.
listens
One
to
day
this.
she
I'm
made
always amused by that
17
stuff.
phone calls, and it was like the end of the world for her.
Here's my little question on the topic.
You know, because the kids, she had to go get the kids. She had
Wow,
to
I
go
lost
do
my train of
this.
thought. I went so
Her
ADD.
friend needed her. Somebody needed
That
this.
was
Everybody
fantastic,
else
right?
needed
And I
something.
had
And she does
somewhere I was
nothing for
going with
herself. And now she's being the martyr.
I am supposed to be renewed and
Okay, so that is the question of truly what step 0 is. Is it about the
Serenity
obsession of drama?
Right, and now I'm gonna move gracefully into this step 4 concept of exposing my stuff. Nobody is Adolf Hitler. Why does everybody in the program? That was my point. Why does everybody listening and/or everybody that we know in the program?
Would it be a good idea in this amendment to the Constitution of the 12 steps, because I'm adding step 0, or how about this, a better forward to the 12 steps, which is
I think step 3
identifying your obsessive characteristics so that when you are getting rid of your issues in step 1, you have a better idea of what they are.
On the pink cloud of sobriety that we don't want to be brought down by the shitty actions of our past.
Well, yeah, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress.
Sorry, I was doing Coast 103. I really felt that vibe.
Right out of
the warm pink
Well,
vibe.
I get the step 1, and our next show will be about step 1.
Sober,
but there's
three
no prelogue to it. It's just sort of like, here you go. And I did it the old way, right? There was no like lead up to it. It just, it's almost like the first time you have sex. It happened.
Right.
I don't really know. I was there, and I don't. Next
instead.
thing
That's
I know, it was
I don't
happening.
even know how that's a viable option.
Yeah.
Go home, fill this out, do this, and I've done it 3 different ways for 3 different masters,
that's not an option.
and only one of them was by the book.
It's there. It's always there.
But in general, when you're discussing those, there's no prelogue, there's no preamble to it. There's just do it. You've got this issue. Well, the truth is, you've got a lot of issues. We obsess over drama. We obsess over the opposite sex. We obsess over obsessing. We obsess over obsessing.
I like that. See, I'd rather see you put that as a forward, as a step 0.
That's all it is.
Obsess over obsessing. Step 0. Obsess over
some,
obsessing.
Unearthly,
like that.
unreal experience where my troubles don't seem to bother me anymore.
1950s.
Well, that'll do it for episode number 1 of Step Zero, the Triple O.
Magic.
The triple.
Obsessing over obsessing, where Ian is now going to go off and share this at a Starbucks with his little group. My favorite Jesus of Suburbia. What's your message to the newcomer, so that they'll tune in a week from today to hear Step 1?
I'll give you that.
Don't drink.
But yeah, really
go to meetings.
Really stop sleeping.
Get a sponsor.